If you walked in the forest on this one day that I'm talking about, in the distance you could hear all sorts of noises, very happy noises, squealing and screaming and joyful things happening. And then every now and again you'd hear some moans and groans. Then there would be silence, and then there'd be cheering, and then there'd be some crying. It was a strange thing that seemed to be going on. And if you got a little bit closer, you would find that there were Songololos who were working together to practice something that they'd never done before. Across a little ditch where they were, just below where you could look and see, there was a thin stick that had been laid. And the Songololos were trying to cross that thin stick. Now, that shouldn't be difficult, you might think, because they've got so many legs. But what they were doing is they were crossing underneath the stick, not on top. And so all their legs had to crawl underneath the stick, and they'd never practiced that. So they kept falling off. They got halfway across and then fell down. They'd squeal and scream. Some would curl up and roll down into the little ditch, and they kept doing it and doing it. And some of them were saying, "We're so tired, we don't want to do it anymore." But they kept going and they kept going because someone had said to them, "It's good to learn how to do this." You would wonder why, but hey, who knows? Anyway, a long time went past, well, maybe a few weeks. And this group of Songololos was out in the forest once more. They were walking along, they were having fun, they were foraging for food that they couldn't find near their house, looking for special little herbs and leaves and branches and things. When suddenly they heard thunder. "Oh, we better go hide in case the rain comes." And they went and hid underneath a shelf. And while they were sitting under there, the rain started falling. It didn't take long before there was suddenly a stream of water that was gushing down past where they were hiding, and they were terrified. "What are we going to do? We can't go home, we're going to get washed away." Then one of them said, "Let's put a stick across that little stream below where the water's falling, and we can all get across." And that's what they did. But the stick was slippery, so they couldn't cross on top. And that's when they remembered, we learned how to crawl underneath the stick. We don't have to cross on top. And one by one, slowly but surely, they all crawled across the stick on the underneath side and made their way all the way to the other side of the little ditch. Once they were there, they got under the grass and the leaves and the stuff, and they quickly scurried out of the forest, out of the rain, out of the wet. They got to the edge. When they got to the edge of the forest, just before they crossed the road back to their home, they realized that the rain had stopped. Have we taken so long? Well, as long as we got across and everybody was safe, we were happy. They didn't realize that the things they learned before sometimes would come in very handy for the things that they were going to experience in the future. We'll see you again sometime. Bye for now.